only 5% of the surface of the planet Earth has been studied. The majority of the land is made up of oceans. There is a lot that is underneath us that we are unaware of, as evidenced by the innumerable television shows on ocean life and the spooky depths of our black waters. The sea is full of surprises all the time, from buried riches to sunken towns to deep marine animals. Thanks to deep marine technologies and courageous divers, we have uncovered a great deal of information that was previously undiscovered for decades. The idea that there are actually more historical items hundreds of feet below the surface of the ocean than there are in all of the world's museums should help put things into perspective. Fortunately, we have some of the most fascinating findings made by deep-sea divers in history to share with you. You will undoubtedly be captivated by what lies ahead, with its abundance of undiscovered treasures, deserted ships, steamships, and historic sites. A massive vehicle is the first item on the list. This enormous six-wheeler found itself, quite literally, at the bottom of the sea. You would not believe the things that have been found there, because huge cargo vessels fall to depths of many feet below the surface. Trucks and other large vehicles can frequently be found at the bottom of the sea. While many have been raised out, one truck stayed submerged peacefully and appeared to be in rather good condition. This is the reason why, as was previously noted, there are more old objects at the ocean floor than there are in all of the world's museums combined. This cache of riches, which includes a gold chalice, an amphora, and a two-handed cup known as a kylix, was discovered by deep-water divers. When a 50-foot merchant ship sank off the coast of Turkey some 3,400 years ago, it is said that these ancient valuables made their way to the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. What a deal! Deep-sea divers have discovered a great deal of ancient sculptures in addition to the Moai statues. This specific discovery was made off the coast of Cancun, Mexico. However, there are groups of statues that lie at the bottom of the sea along the coasts of South America, Africa, and Europe. Only those prepared to descend deeply into the Caribbean Sea, as many deep-sea divers have done, will be able to view this collection of sculptures, also referred to as a sculpture park. If so, you get the opportunity to view more than 500 ancient statues. While submerged cities, shipwrecks, and ancient relics are fascinating discoveries, deep-sea divers also come across some disturbing things. Human remains have been found by numerous divers, including complete skeletons, bones, and even skulls. The discovery in 2007 of a girl's well-preserved 13,000-year-old skeleton located far off the coast of Mexico was one instance that really astounded divers. Numerous skeletons and skulls found hundreds of feet below the surface are the remains of people who may have been involved in shipwrecks, storms, or sunken boats. Motorbikes are frequently discovered submerged in water. We can only assume that these cars have either fallen off cargo ships, been purposefully discarded, or possibly been stolen and thrown into the water, even though no one knows for sure how they got there. Motorbikes like the one in the picture will stay submerged in the water for a while, providing an environment for marine life to flourish and consume the metal, housing millions of water bacteria. Therefore, there's a strong probability your Harley-Davidson is lounging at the bottom of the sea if you've ever wondered where it went. Deep-sea divers found this figure of Jesus Christ, which is now a popular tourist destination. There are several Jesus statues in existence besides the enigmatic one that is presently submerged beneath the ocean. This same statue of Christ gazing up at the heavens was made by Italian sculptor Guido Galletti. However, in 1954, the monument sank close to Portofino on the Italian Riviera, where it was discovered by divers decades later. The statue is currently encircled by a reef and a wide variety of marine life that inhabits our murky waters. One ferocious and terrifying sea creature is the next item on the list. Giant jellyfish provide a very different kind of threat than regular jellyfish, even though their unpleasant shocks can be quite dangerous. The largest known species of jellyfish is the enormous jellyfish, also referred to as a lion's mane jellyfish. Its range is limited to the chilly boreal seas of the northern Atlantic, northern Pacific, and Arctic oceans. 3 oceans you may officially stay away from in order to completely remove the chance of coming across one of these unsettling marine animals. One terrifying animal that may be found in some of the deepest waters of the sea is the goblin shark, commonly referred to as a sea nope. Only a few of divers have encountered this particular unusual kind of deep-sea shark and survived. The term living fossil is occasionally applied to them, and their ancestry dates back almost 125 million years. Even if this shark is quite old, you should avoid it just based on its name. Good luck if you ever find yourself deep-sea diving and run into this guy. Despite the fact that boats are designed to float, sinking ships happen more frequently than one may imagine. This specific ship is one of several that vanished as part of numerous boat wrecks off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean close to the Bahamas. Many ships are lost at sea, and this ship is one of the many in busy trade channels carrying vessels like the one seen, which frequently do not reach their destination. Apart from trucks and ships, airplanes also end themselves submerged in the vast ocean. Deep-sea divers in Hawaii's Oahu found a sunken F-4U Corsair, one unique aircraft. This particular Corsair had fought in numerous wars and was involved in a routine training mission when, in 1946, a shortage of fuel caused it to fall into the water. After doing a typical water landing, the pilot swam to safety and related the story. Many years later, a vibrant reef and an abundance of other marine life have encircled the F-4U Corsair. Many statues, including the one in the photo, have been found at the bottom of the ocean. These include Polynesian moai statues. Numerous Moai Easter Island-style statues have been found all over the world, but the majority have been found in Cancun, Isla Mujeres, and Punta Nizuc, Mexico. Along with other Polynesian and Aztec relics, these full-body statues from thousands of years ago have found their way to the bottom of the sea. Some have been rediscovered, but others are undoubtedly still missing. Deep-sea divers found an Egyptian tombstone and other remnants of a lost city off the coast between Greece and Egypt. It is believed that this relic was a part of the ancient city of Heracleion, which was predicted to be permanently submerged under the ocean. But it wasn't until almost 1,200 years later that it was found, off the coast of Abukir Bay. The city, which was founded in the 6th century BC, was buried for centuries after being overwhelmed by more water. Fortunately, divers were able to retrieve this stone and many other antique artifacts that have been conserved and displayed in several Mediterranean museums. When it comes to finds made in the deep water, treasure is real. A diver who was fortunate enough to find treasure worth almost $1 million in the sea is among the many who find numerous objects worth something. In 2015, a diver had the luckiest day of his life when he discovered the prize off the coast of Florida. 51 gold coins, 40 feet of elaborate gold chain, and a rare single coin minted for Philip V, the monarch of Spain, were among the treasures found in the sunken treasure. How fortunate you are! Even though only one treasure has been found, more are thought to still be hidden at the bottom of the ocean. Another regular discovery for many deep-sea divers is pirate ships. Pirate ships and the wreckage from these sunken ships have also been found in the deep blue sea, despite the fact that cargo ships and boats similar to them are frequently found there. The estimated value of a pirate shipwreck from the 18th century that was found off the coast of Colombia in 2015 is between $4 billion and $17 billion. Treasures, gold, rare stones, and numerous other objects worth thousands of dollars were found among the debris of the pirate ship. The ship, which is currently known as the San Jose, is a historic ship from the 18th century because it is thought to have been a pirate ship engaged in some combat at the period. Jewels is the next item on the list. Divers have found innumerable other pieces of jewelry, but Rose's Heart of the Ocean diamond blue necklace is still fictitiously at the bottom of the Atlantic. These days, you can't find anything without pearl and diamond necklaces, ruby and emerald stones, and contemporary Rolex and Cartier watches. Many priceless artifacts have been found, however, most of the time, some components are no longer worth anything. But it's always worth getting jewelry valued if you do find any in the water. You never know. This statue is one of the many items from the buried city of Heracleion that have been found and conserved for exhibition in various museums, as was previously described. Specifically, this enormous red granite statue, which was no longer red, represented the god of Hapi, who towered over the Heracleion temple. Egyptian historians currently own this 3,000-year-old statue, which has undergone extensive analysis and been verified as a piece of the Egyptian lost city. Submarines do sink, even though the phrase sunken submarine is not one you would expect to read. Divers have found numerous submarines that were utilized in both combat and for government purposes. After being downed, one of Nazi Germany's most advanced submarines was discovered in waters close to Denmark. Furthermore, 103 years after it sank, One of Australia's W1 submarines was found off the coast of Papua New Guinea. Even if it's thought that the submarine's crew members died during the sinking, this deep-sea diver's discovery is still quite an accomplishment. There are other buried cities besides the well-known Atlantis and the Egyptian metropolis of Heraklion. Not very long ago, several divers found one Roman city. When the Roman city of Neapolis's remnants were discovered in 2017 off the coast of North Africa, it was determined that a huge tsunami had destroyed the city some 1,600 years prior. The remnants of the vanished city, which is located close to Tunisia's shore, include tiles, pots, columns, and much more that originally comprised the entire city. Pyramids are on the list after all. It's not every day that you find a pyramid underwater, but this particular Mayan pyramid was found recently thanks to Google. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, a researcher found a gigantic pyramid using Google Earth. Mexican deep-sea divers set out right away to verify the pyramid's existence, and lo and behold, they found it. Uncovered was a perfectly formed Mayan pyramid with a base that spanned 8.5 miles on one side. Numerous smaller pyramids are thought to be among the many that are anticipated to be underwater off the coast of Mexico. A steam engine is the next item on the list. The deep sea has also been invaded by these industrial machinery. Deep-sea divers found the remains of a disassembled steam engine. It turns out that the steam engine's boiler was blown off the deck of the SS Thistlegorm when it tragically sank on October 6, 1941. The numerous sunken cargo vessels that had finally met their match have led to the steam engine and other industrial devices meeting their demise at the bottom of the ocean. One gangly deep-sea organism is the Japanese spider crab. This crab resembles a gigantic spider and is said to have the longest leg spread of any crustacean, measuring up to 12 feet from claw to claw. The Japanese spider crab is not a fierce predator despite its size. Rather, it scavenges for dead and rotting stuff by slowly walking across the seafloor with its long, spindly limbs. And further interesting aspect is that juvenile Japanese spider crabs occasionally dress themselves with kelp or sponges, maybe as a means of hiding from predators. Of course, the flapjack octopus is adorable. This octopus is charming with its big eyes, stumpy webbed arms, and ear-like fins on its mantle. The flapjack octopus gets its name from its ability to lay flat and resemble a pancake on the seafloor, where it spends much of its time. When it's time to move, the flapjack octopus pulsates its web of arms and flaps its fins, giving the appearance of a pulsating jelly rather than an octopus as it swims or hovers over the seafloor. With no ink sac and no ability to change color for concealment, the flapjack octopus is not like many other species of shallow water octopuses. Sea angels are tiny, swimming sea slugs that resemble celestial beings more than slugs due to their translucent bodies and gracefully flapping wings. These deep-sea dwellers that live in cold water are modified gastropods. Their shells have vanished and their muscular foot, which is typical of gastropods, snails and slugs, has transformed into wing-like appendages for powerful swimming in open water. Sea angels utilize their radula and tentacles to yank other swimming snails from their shells and consume them, so don't be fooled by their angelic appearance. They only eat Cleone limatina, a type of shelled pteropod that is predicted to suffer from ocean acidification and climate change. The comb of bloody belly. Despite having a morbid name, jelly is an incredibly attractive animal. The bloody belly comb jelly has a heart-shaped form and is deeply red in color. It moves through water thanks to cilia that beat constantly. Light refracts when it strikes the cilia, producing a glittering show. Strangely, because of its red hue, this jelly is almost undetectable to predators at the depths where it dwells. In the deep, dark waters of this jelly's home, red light vanishes, and scientists surmise that its vivid red stomach aids in the concealment of bioluminescent prey that, if it remains glowing, may also turn the jelly into a meal. The small pill bugs that are common in many gardens are distant relatives of these roly-poly deep-sea critters. The size of the enormous isopod differs from that of your typical garden variety pill bug. It may reach up to 16 inches in length. This enormous crab eats dead animals as it slowly moves across the seafloor. It can survive at depths of more than 7,000 feet and is found in extremely cold seas.